Okay, that's definitely an edit. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 25 of the Outta Bounds podcast. As you guys can see, the big three is back in full effect. I go by the name of Liddell the Fashionista. Alongside me is the man of the middle, our guy, Mr. Donnie. Do not call me Donovan Wilkins. And on my far right, we have our young blood, our guy, Noah Austin, a.k.a. Third Eye, a.k.a. Mr. Euro Step to Your Girl. And also, for this,
Ben Wallace.
I was gonna say Questlove, but all right.
Nah.
The Philly and me can't allow that. You gotta go with Ben Wallace.
I don't. No shade to Questlove. Amazing musician. I'm not like DaBaby. I'm not gonna take that from you. But I'm gonna take Ben Wallace.
All right, so how we doing? How we doing, fellas? No, we got a lot that's been happening in the sports world. NFL trade deadline at the time this recording has just finished up, completed. Not too many deals of noteworthy to discuss, but there was one that happened the day before, and that was just gone the LA Rams and the Denver Broncos involving my guy. Well, now he's soon to be my guy. Now that he's on my team, Von Miller. So let's get into it first, ladies and gentlemen. The best and worst from
wait, hold on. You said my guy, my soon to be my guy?
Yes.
He's going to the Rams, right?
Yes.
When did you become a Rams
It's a new team every week.
Come on, stay with me. No, wasn't he a Ravens fan?
Bro, I got two teams. We know this.
Anyways, so Von Miller, guys. I don't know what's even Von Miller.
All right. So wait, hold on. Before we get to that, because I definitely brought this up before. I said I have two teams.
I wasn't gonna go into it, but you definitely said the LA Chargers.
That's me.
That was no.
Oh, okay, all right. Then I apologize.
So Donovan's slow.
Look, it's been a week. I'm still on a couple of pain meds. Like,
ew.
Why you said pain meds?
Ew.
I don't want to see a black man recover. That's why.
All right, y'all. But best and worst from week 8 in the NFL. I basically gave some hits in regards to like what's my best from the week. So let's go around. Start from right to left. No, what's your best from week 8 of the NFL?
Best from week 8. My old team, the Jets. I want to see them prosper. I want to see.
Noah has two teams.
I said old. I don't root for them no more.
Yeah,
I got one.
Just claimed them.
But no, I mean, I like seeing the Jets win. They had a backup quarterback come in. I forgot his name. It's Mike White. White. Got you. But he came in, actually played pretty well for the whole game. Beat a Bengals team that's really on par this year. So I was surprised at everybody in the league. So I mean, that to me is my best. Like the Jets they're 1-5, and no one was thinking they're gonna win this game against a playoff contender. So I mean that's the best. So.
He definitely had the most passing yards for first career start. So
anyway, I give credit where it's due. I give credit where credit is due, and he played a hell of a game and he did his thing. So that's my best. I haven't seen that's the best story in my opinion. Everything else is just, the usual. Patrick Mahomes struggles, blah, 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 blah. So it's a soap opera at this point. That's all it is. It's just a soap opera.
Man, their fan base is...
Days of our lives.
It's something else, man.
After they won the Super Bowl, like...
it's crazy. They were on top for like 3 years, and it seems like their fan base just...
They got spoiled. They forgot They forgot about the Alex Smith years. Even though Alex Smith was not a bad quarterback for the Chiefs, but they forgot about those years. They forgot about the years before that when they was like a 4-12 team every year.
They were trash.
They forgot about the Trent Green years. Trent Green was MVP.
The Chief fan base is that one dude that make it out and forget where they came from. Then they get humble. Now you got to be like, damn. I came from this. Like y'all got humble real quick. Like y'all got spoiled with Patrick Mahomes, doing his thing.
AFC trips and
what I'm saying? Doing his thing in the league. And now it's
Super Bowls.
They're a little rocky. Fans they're finicky. They're here today, gone tomorrow. So
same fans as the Warriors.
Yeah, just like Donovan with his Ben Simmons takes. Like he's fickle.
Oh, hold on.
What?
We ain't gonna get into that, but I don't know what you want me to say. It's a
just say like no. Basically, mention how like some fan bases are fickle, but we already you're a fickle fan, so you're the perfect example of it.
Yeah, Philly fans are fickle.
How so?
Ben Simmons.
You just said it. Remember, like when he like we'll welcome him back with open arms and this and that. Now, and then the next week, fuck Ben Simmons.
Yeah, after those reports came out. But make no mistake, we supported this dude. When he made his first career 3, what did the stadium do? Cheer for this motherfucker. And what did he say? He loved it. But now it's like,
y'all basically shit on though. Yo, if I make a 3 and everybody start cheering for me, I'm gonna feel mad.
Man, that's how bad you are.
Because everybody shoots 3s in the NBA. Like,
all right, but we're trying to encourage him. Oh, so now it's bad to root for your. You know what, y'all something else. It's always people who are not in Philadelphia or not part of the fan base who recently just started.
Your culture is a sandwich and a fictional boxer. I don't want to hear the outsiders.
First of all, I don't want to hear nothing from the Atlanta.
Aren't the Braves in the World Series right now? And didn't the Hawks?
Because that's all y'all have. That's all y'all have.
Well, what do y'all have, Donovan?
What do we have?
Yeah.
What do
we
you
have? A World 2008 World Series. We have it.
Oh my God! This man, this kid was 8 years old.
You asked what we have.
He was 8 years old.
All right, so are you talking about right now? So what do we have right now? All right, we have a 4-2 record.
My senior year in high school.
Bro, I was literally in grade school when y'all won the World Series.
All right, so focus on your World Series.
Focus
on your Hawks who are
in the playoffs last year. Atlanta Braves are in the World Series.
It's a new season. We'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Okay.
What happened this time?
John Collins, Joel Embiid.
What happened this time?
All right. We're gonna talk basketball in a few, but Donovan, what's your best from week 8 in the NFL?
Honestly, it's the city of Philadelphia. We finally got our head right and decided to run the ball. Scored 44 points. I mean, it was against the Lions, so there's really not much accomplishment. But
that's your best from the week.
Yeah, I mean, look, we won. That's all. I can't.
The bar is so low, no.
Exactly.
The bar is so low.
Bar's in hell.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
The bar's in hell. So there you go. There's Philly. Jesus.
Oh my God. As for me, I alluded to it when I tried to do my cold opening. That's gonna need to be edited. But
one take, Jake. That's all we're doing.
Yeah. My best. Fuck, I might keep it. Who knows? My best from week 8 is my LA Rams. My second team, my original team. The Rams was my first. That was my first team. As Don, what the fuck are you rolling your eyes for?
Because I could have sworn you said the Ravens were your first team, but
no.
Let's go.
All right. You got it. All right. Here's the story. I became a Rams fan like about 96, 97, and that's because
that's valid. Don't even finish the story.
Yeah.
I don't want. He said 96. You got it. Like if you were cool with him, you got it. You don't have to.
Jason Lee before the greatest show on turf ever. So that's how far I go.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Whatever you try to do, I've been a fan since 1990. You got it.
You got it.
I do not remember nobody voting for the Rams. You got it.
No was -4 in 96.
I was not even thought of. So it doesn't. I don't care.
But yeah, man. But my Rams, they beat the Texans. You know, the Texans, they scored some points late in the fourth quarter. Basically fucked up the spread, but it's all good. We got the dub. And then what happened a day later? We trade for Von Miller, future Hall of Famer, Super Bowl MVP. We're doing something to the Denver Broncos. We traded for him, and all we gave up was a second round and a third round pick. Now, as I mentioned to you, Donovan, before we recorded, like the Rams, they basically have a first rounder since 2016 when they drafted Jared Goff, who they traded for our current quarterback, Matthew Stafford, who's having an MVP season. So basically, I'm just ecstatic being a Rams fan right now because not only did we get the dub, we're looking pretty good. We beat the Buccaneers, so we was able to compete with them. The Cardinals, that's basically like our main concern right now, even though J.J. Watt, I believe, is hurt. So that's going to put a damper on their defense. But Stafford is balling. Cooper Kupp is on pace to set NFL receiving records. We got Von Miller. Added him with Aaron Donald, Jalen. You got 3 Hall of Famers on the defense right there. Like this, what is not to love right now as a Rams fan? So they're my winners all across the board. Even though I feel like the pressure is definitely mounting now, because if we do not win the Super Bowl, then everything that we done was a complete failure because we have literally no draft capital. Like we still have picks, but we're not picking like the best top talent in the first round for like the next 4 or 5 years. Mode. Yeah, we're in win now mode. So basically, you have to win right now. Otherwise, the future is fucked. Because I remember being a Rams fan. Like, it was tough being a fan. Because prior to the McVay era, we haven't made the playoffs since 2004. Haven't had a winning season since 2004. So the fact that here we are right now, like 4 or 5, or however long it's been, consecutive seasons of being above 500, 4 playoff trips, an NFC championship, a Super Bowl appearance. Like, it's a great era, but at the end of the day, like, it has to end with a Super Bowl, considering the fact that we basically mortgage our future just to get the time that we have.
I mean, the Rams are looking great. I mean, the Rams, like you said, over the past couple of years, haven't had really a bad team. Going to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl, which was the most
should have won that game.
Lackluster Super Bowl. Should
have won that game.
I mean,
they were just missing era, pieces.
You said, the McVay era has to show something for it. Like, you gave up your future, for what? Just to go to the Super Bowl and lose again? Like, so I think the Rams fans are, they're in the right. Like, we want to see some results from just giving up everything and getting Von Miller's. I mean, but their defense is stacked. Like, to me, that's the number 1 defense in the league. Like, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and Von Miller. It's pretty stacked defense, in my opinion.
Yeah. But that was our best of the week. And now in regards to the worst of the week, we're going to go from left to right. Start with me. The worst from week 8 in the NFL for me, like nothing really stuck out that much from the week. But if I had to, without going with the obvious for the news that just broke earlier today, because we want to save that for a later segment. Hint, hint. But for me, I'll say the worst for week 8 was the New York Giants. Just the simple fact that here you are on prime time, Monday Night Football. Your defense couldn't play any better. Like, you basically held the Chiefs offense to 20 points. Mahomes, was kind of like so-so out there. He basically had an average game. Like he was forcing the ball through, turn the ball over. But the offense, man, like Daniel Jones, like it's like when is he gonna take that next step? You know what I mean? And then you got Saquon Barkley, who's hurt. You basically spent number 2 pick on him, and he's been injury prone for like 2 of the past 3 seasons. Kenny Galladay, a dude that he's your big offseason acquisition. Like he was nowhere to be seen because he's hurt as well. So the New York Giants, basically I'll say like the New York Giants, not even just for like last night's game, but the organization as a whole, like the way they built their roster was it's just been terrible, in all honesty. So that was my worst for week 8 in the NFL. They probably could have been worse than that, but due to recency bias, it's the New York Giants for me. I don't remember shit.
It's a solid pick, but like I said, I'm curious about what the Detroit Lions end game is here.
To implode. That's their game.
It's crazy because I had high hopes for the Detroit Lions because like after they lost like their first 2 or 3 games, I'm like, well, at least they're competing. They start competing.
It seems like everybody just lost hope for the season, and that's going to be my worst of the week. I feel sorry for them. I really do.
I feel sorry for the Lions. I feel sorry for them.
They basically fired one coach that was trash just to bring another coach that's even worse.
We knew he was not going to do nothing. When this man said he was going to bite kneecaps off, I don't know what he said. He said something wild.
Yeah, that was wild. That was definitely wild.
And I was like, "That's who y'all were." All right,
all right, we'll see how it works.
He biting them L's. That's what he's biting now. Like I don't. It don't matter. But my worst of the week 8. I don't know if it's classified as week 8, but the Browns not trading Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, that
and the lack of. Because the thing is, Odell Beckham is still a good receiver. Is he the best in the league right now? No, there's a lot more. The receiver pool has gotten much larger with more talent, but Outta Beckham is still a good receiver, but Baker Mayfield not really giving him balls, catchable balls, or not even throwing to him. So that's my worst. And the Browns aren't going to trade him. So because I think the trade deadline was today. This episode is going to come out later, but today's Tuesday, November 1st, second. I'm slow. November 2nd, and it's a trade deadline. And they said that they just aren't going to trade him, even though he knows he doesn't want to be there. So that's my worst of the week. Because OBJ.
This is my thing with Odell Beckham, especially like me being from New York, right? Like when he first popped up the scene, like remember he had this crazy ass one-handed catch, one of the greatest catches in NFL history. Meanwhile, that catch happens just about on a regular basis in college and in NFL right now. My thing is with Odell Beckham is this: like, had he started his career with a team like the Cleveland Browns, would he be as notable of a receiver as he is today? Or did the New York market actually help him? Because it's like when I see Odell right now, like Odell's probably not even top 15, top 20 best receivers in the league anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
so he's basically still living off of what he did in New York, because in Cleveland, he's barely been like over 1,000 yards.
But for this season, is that entirely his fault? I mean, and the thing is, I think I saw a Twitter post, and they're saying like the Eli Manning effect, and the receiver core he had, and how much he really did for those guys, and then when they left, or when Eli left, and how much they didn't do. So I mean, it could have been New York, but again, it's like as a receiver, your quarterback is a big part of your success. I mean, if you have a quarterback that can get you the ball, obviously you're going to look really well. And if you have a quarterback that either A, doesn't want to throw to you, or B, is not throwing you catchable balls, you're not going to have the best of a season. And I'm not taking the blame all off of Odell, but, Baker Mayfield does play somewhat of a part in this. So.
But this is the way I see it, though. If you're that dude, you're that dude. Because I remember DeAndre Hopkins. He was playing with some trash-ass QBs until he got
Deshaun Watson is trash?
No, before.
No. Oh, before.
No, youngin. Like, before Deshaun Watson.
I was like, man, like,
we get you.
Like, nah, man. I think, like, who was his quarterback before D-Hop? I mean, before D-Watt. I think it was
Brian Hoyer, right?
Brian Hoyer, Brock Osweiler. I think he even had Matt Shaw toward the tail end of his career. So, Andre Johnson, another former Houston Texans receiver, basically had trash ass quarterbacks his whole career. Who else do we have? Allen Robinson.
Yeah, you could throw in Megatron. But although I wouldn't.
Oh, that'd be Matthew. Come on, Matthew Stafford's pretty nice.
No way. No. Matthew Stafford got Megatron the ball. I don't know what you smoking, but Calvin Johnson.
You can say AJ Green, I guess, because AJ Green.
AJ Green.
Oh yeah.
Because AJ Green's been balling in Arizona. I forgot I didn't even know he was on there. But
prime Steve Smith had Jake Delhomme. Y'all don't know who that is, but he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback before Cam Newton in Carolina.
I don't know. I don't know that man. I wouldn't know him if I see him. I don't know.
I only passed through Carolina once.
Dealing with youngest, ladies and gentlemen. Dealing with youngest. But the point is, like, if you're really that dude, it doesn't. like having a great quarterback helps. Obviously, like look at Devontae Adams with Aaron Rodgers. But like
you mean like if you're a playmaker, you'll like make
plays. Yeah, you're gonna make
plays
regardless. That's why I see like Odell like Odell, like understand, like like he's like to me, like Odell Beckham Jr., his name is worth more than his game right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right now.
The name does not, and the NFL is a "What have you done for me lately" league. And look at my guy, Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is not in the NFL anymore. And 3 years ago, this dude was the Offensive Player of the Year.
And he was All-Star, yeah.
He's a Pro Bowl, like All-Pro quarterback. Like now, he's not even on the roster anymore.
Practice squad, I think.
Not even that.
Oh, he got cut?
Yeah.
He had to play his last year with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, he did get cut.
That was supposed to be his comeback. But damn.
It was supposed to be something.
I mean, like,
it was supposed to be something. I don't know.
Cam Newton, like same thing. Like even though, like I think his thing was more like like politics in the front office due to the whole I'm not gonna say what it is because due to like you two don't like when you mention certain stuff, but Cam Newton basically he was a victim of politics in the league. Like how certain mandates I should say. But he was a league MVP like what 5-6 years ago. Now on the roster, that's how it goes. Earl Thomas, all pro safety. After he had the incident with like his wife and all that, not in the league anymore. Then he got cut by Baltimore Ravens due to the fight with Chuck Clark. So this is what have you done for me lately league. At this point, Odell's like, what have you done for me lately?
So are you alluding to like Odell's kind of possibly on that path to not being on the team? Because on ESPN they did say that a lot of teams around the league weren't really trading or looking to trade for Odell Beckham.
I mean, if you look around the league, who would really want him?
I mean, Green Bay could use him.
I mean, yeah. I think if Odell Beckham leaves, he's not getting the money he thinks he's getting because again, the talent pool for receiving cores coming out of the draft, and you can get him on a rookie deal is way higher than just picking up Odell Beckham. Mm-hmm. Even the past three draft classes has had a pretty deep receiving core.
Yeah.
There are several teams. That could use Odell. They have strong coaches. I mean, by strong coaches, I mean like their front office, coaching staff, roster. Like it's all top line. The Green Bay Packers 1, and the New England Patriots 2. Those are the 2 best spots for Odell Beckham right now. But my thing is, if he goes to those spots and don't work over there, then he's just about done.
I think a Bill Belichick and Odell Beckham thing. I wouldn't mind that.
It wouldn't work. I don't think it'll work though.
I think Outta Beckham has matured since he's been in the league. I think I would give him that pass. I think he's matured a little bit more since he's got humbled. Whereas like, yo, I'm not that guy no more, or I'm not that it guy. Because they marketed once he did the catch, they marketed him as that guy.
What?
Yeah.
For a while.
But my thing is this: if he made that catch in a place like Minnesota, would he be the Odell Beckham that he is today?
Yeah, look at Jefferson.
Yeah,
look at Jefferson. They still replay the catch he made against the Saints in the playoffs. So
that was Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Damn, my bad. I messed up.
But that was an iconic moment. That Odell catch, that was a Sunday Night Football regular season week 2, week 3 game.
But it was. But again, I mean, it's still the catch is a catch. I feel like if the catch again happened on a regular night game, I do feel like it would be up there. I think it would.
Yeah,
everybody can make that catch now.
Yeah, but in the age of social media,
at the time, no one could. And Odell really did.
I could have sworn I saw Randy Moss do some shit like that.
But the thing is, doing one-handed catches was really taboo at that time when Odell Beckham came in the league because not a lot of receivers were really catching the ball one-handed like that,
especially like off balance and the way his body was contorted.
Yeah, it was just a great catch. I feel like even if he played for like the Dolphins, or even if Odell played for like, I don't know about the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions itself wouldn't have worked because it's just the Lions name. But I don't know. I feel like anywhere he played, he probably would have the same effect because it was just a really great catch that no one has ever seen before. I think you can't take that away.
It wasn't so much New York propelling that catch or that
social
highlight.
Media.
It was social media, Bleacher Report, NFL, ESPN, Sports Center, like all that shit. So,
and for the record, like I don't want to like reduce Odell Beckham to just like one catch because the dude but he was like that. Like he was from a rookie.
Yeah, he was like that.
3-time Pro Bowl receiver. Like he definitely was that dude.
He was hot. He was hot.
And he had a quarterback that threw him the ball. Exactly. Like Eli Manning. Like, say what you will. Give him the ball.
But this was a man that was on par to like have like a Hall of Fame career. Like, by the way, he still could because he has like over 7,000 yards and over 50 touchdowns for his career at this point, and he's not even 30 years old.
I mean, I'm just saying the Chargers can get him.
Wait, this dude ain't 30?
No.
Fuck, I feel like this dude's been in the league for.
Yeah, OBJ is like late 20s.
He's 20. He's about to turn 29 in a couple of days.
Shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
He got some years left though. Like he definitely has some years left to do it. But I just wouldn't want to waste him in Cleveland. So
I mean, you wouldn't want to go anywhere else.
And I'm also sure like his dad means well, but his dad ain't really making things better by posting clips on his Twitter showing Baker Mayfield not throwing Odell the ball.
See, black dads are trying to be the LeVar Ball cutout. You can't do that. You can't.
There was only one LeVar.
But LeVar was right. So, I mean, you can't really force him. But, yeah, the media is only having one outrageous black dad do that. They're not going to have multiple. So, they're not going to let niggas out here wilding like that. No.
That's a fact. But Odell, man, like it sucks that he did not get traded. But then again, not too many moves have been made today during the trade deadline. The most notable was Melvin Ingram going from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
So he's definitely gonna help their defense out. But the case of Odell, like you said, like some teams today, they rather just pay like a younger guy more outside of the cheaper contract. They're taking on a dude like OBJ that has like so much, attention drawn to just the mention of his name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some teams don't want that distraction.
Yeah. Nobody wants to take that gamble.
Yeah. No one wants to take the gamble, but again, I mean, no one wants to take the gamble, but I feel like, he's mature and I think it's possible. So.
Yeah, but
would you rather have a 22-year-old or a 29-year-old? I'd rather take the 21-year-old.
But again, it's still. I mean, the draft is still a gamble though, because you still have to factor in how is this young kid going to transfer into the NFL? Can he transfer to the NFL? Can he even? So there's still a lot of question marks. But
I think OBJ is past the point of reasoning. I feel like he is who he is right now, and I mean, yeah, he probably matured, but
the thing is, like,
I'm willing to take on.
Like we definitely seen the best of what he has to offer. Like I don't think he's not gonna get any better.
And the thing is, I feel like OBJ is somewhat in a Lonzo Ball situation where he has to be on the right team that wants him there and wants him to be great for the team and implement him in the game plan.
That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, especially like it's not like he's an old dude, but like most teams, aside for like a select few, but most teams they already have a solid wide receiver core. Like you go to the Chicago Bears, they have Allen Robinson. He could be a number 2 over there.
Yeah.
But then again, you have Justin Fields, who's a rookie quarterback. Like basically, and he's still going through his growing pains as well. Yeah. So basically, like he's gonna go from one frustration to another. With a quarterback with less.
Yeah, I say, look, nobody made no offers on you. It seems like all you gotta do now is just play. And
the Bengals don't need him. The Bills don't need him. The Broncos don't need him. The Buccaneers certainly don't need him. The Arizona Cardinals don't need him. The Chargers don't need him.
I feel like the Chargers get a good number 2 for Keenan Allen.
Y'all got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
What's wrong with having 3 good receivers?
You got
that's
young,
not
you
what
got,
he wants to be
young.
like
you literally got young receivers that you drafted this year and last year.
That is
he
true.
wants to be like a number 1 or number 2 option.
The cheese. He could possibly be a number 2 in Kansas City, but as a receiver, but they had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, so he ain't gonna get the ball that much over there either.
Yeah,
the Indianapolis Colts. Maybe, but do you really want to go to the Colts and play with Carson Wentz, who's an injury-prone quarterback?
He ain't looking too
good. He definitely ain't getting the ball with the Cowboys because they got Coop, they got
CD
Lamb, Gallup. I know he's hurt right now, but he'll be back soon, I'm sure. They got Zeke at running back, Tony Pollard. Philly, like, why would you want to go to Philly? For obvious reasons.
I mean, Philly doesn't need him.
Oh, y'all do. Like, come on. Odell's better than all the receivers that you have.
He's better than freaking Devontae Smith or Jalen Regular. I'm cool with our receiver core.
I'm about to get the podcast. This man said, is Odell better than Jalen Regular?
No, like I said, we don't need him. I mean, we're losing all on our own. And the way the draft our picks are shaking out, we're probably gonna have 3 of the top 10 picks next year. So
that's true. But like I could go through all the teams, but I'm not gonna do it because y'all get the point.
I mean, point blank, you just gotta suck it up, dude. Nobody wants you.
Yeah, it's all about like just at this point, Odell Beckham Jr. in his career. It's the same thing that T.O. experienced. Like T.O., everybody like T.O. He's a diva, this and that. But as soon as there was a slight drop off in his play, that's when team like, oh no, we can't deal with this guy. We're gonna cut him. Oh, we're gonna bring him to training camp. He's not gonna make the team. Like that's Odell's kind of like in that state of his career, in that T.O. Chad Ocho single.
Because I mean, I feel like that's his lane. Just because it's like it's good for marketing when, like you said, when you're playing and you're playing well. That's something you can market. Like, oh, he's a show. You can come see him. You can blah, blah, blah. But like you said, the moment your game is a half step slower than it used to be, you're out of there. Because now it turned from, oh, he's a spectacle. We can watch him. Woo, 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 woo. Is now, oh, he's a distraction to the whole team.
He's not a highlight reel anymore.
He's not that dude no more. Oh, he's a distraction. He do too much. So, yeah. But again, I still follow OBJ. I see that he has matured and he wants to play. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's changed because he used to be, pretty out there, which isn't uncommon for any NFL rookie. Even receivers are divas. I play high school football. The receivers are divas anyways. But I feel like he's matured. And I feel like he wants to play. So I feel like he should be – I feel like they should put him in a place – he might to be, but –
He might have matured. Like what you're saying might be true, but when you have your dad basically calling out the quarterback of your team,
yeah, you can't do that.
That's not a good look.
Now he definitely not getting.
Now it's sounding like another PR nightmare that nobody wants to touch.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you get him, you're gonna get his dad. Yeah. The only reason why LeVar could do that because his sons could hoop. That's it. That's the only
all
thing.
of them.
if all 3 of them couldn't hoop, he would be looking crazy right now.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So it's like, if you're going to do that, your son got to be that nigga, that dude to do that. Because if not, you just look stupid. And yeah, OBJ, yeah. He's in a situation. His agent is definitely on the phones.
I mean, it's too late. Like, what you going to do, cut him?
Shit.
Because he ain't get traded, but,
How many more years he has left?
I mean, that's the only way he really could get picked up for cheap is if he did get cut.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wanted to leave that bad.
I mean, it happened with Deshaun Jackson with the Rams, but Deshaun Jackson, he wasn't much of a distraction, so to speak. Like, he realized, like, hey, like, I'm not that
he was the epitome of a distraction. When he was in Philly, what are you talking about?
He wasn't a distraction.
He wasn't a distraction in Philly.
That nigga. Okay.
I mean, in his earlier years, maybe. I mean, they had that.
Yeah, I'm talking about earlier years. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That nigga was wilding.
Yeah, but he's like what, 34, 35 years old
Dude,
right now.
Dude like, just plays. Yeah.
Like all he do is run one route. That's a goal route.
It took a year or a season without that NFL tell you like, man, I gotta shut up and hoop, my guy. I gotta shut up and play. I gotta do something. Like I can't just, and I get it. So it's like you gotta get humbled. You know, receivers get humbled, and you know they look at things differently now. So I respect it.
That's a luck to Odell. You know.
Yeah,
shout out to my boy OBJ. I want some of your cleats just ahead.
But speaking of PR nightmares and distractions, let's get into some NBA news, and that's with the Boston Celtics, Marcus Smart. Last night, the Boston Celtics had a brutal fourth quarter display where they was outscored 39-11 by the Chicago Bulls.
This shit still doesn't
make sense. I
love
watching the Bulls.
The Celtics were up 19 points with 3 minutes to go in the game. And then the Bulls just managed. You can't even lose like this in 2K or Hall of Fame.
Oh, there's no way.
Wait. They were up by 19 with 3 minutes left in the fourth.
And lost
the game by 14 points.
What you doing?
They made Zach LaVine mad. That's what they did. They had to make Zach LaVine mad. That nigga was pissed because ain't no way. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. First of all, positive. I love watching the Bulls play basketball. That's the only thing I gotta say about positive.
They have been fun.
Because I love watching the Bulls play. But Boston, yeah, nigga, 2K with the slide, yeah, bro. Y'all just
you can't.
You really can't. And you lose by, you probably lose by like 3 or 2, but you lost by 14.
What, 3 minutes? Nah.
That means that they scored 19 and then continue to drop 14.
It's like came back for second helpings.
It's like in a real game. Let's say this is 2K, right? Somebody, like, let's say you probably went on break to go use the bathroom or some shit, and then the person you're playing against just went the slider section, put all your sliders on 0, and or
gave you the broken controller and then proceeded to kick your ass.
Yo, like
that's just wild. They down by almost 20. They get to 19 and then produce 14. Yeah, bro. You pack it up.
but that's not. But although that's crazy, that story is crazy. But the biggest headline that came out of this news at this game was Marcus Smart's post-game comments, when basically he mentioned how Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum need to pass the ball the most, because he said there's only so much that he can do. Him as the starting point guard is only so that has 0 assists in the game. There's only so much that he can do where he just parked in the corner waiting for a 3. Because
honestly, I didn't even know he was the starting point guard. That shows how much I
mean, but who else gonna start though? Like, I mean, for me, who else is gonna start?
Because as Liddell was saying this, I'm like, who's the stars over there? Like, who's there? Like,
only Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
It's a 2-man team. It's Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
Basically a 2-man team. Shout out to that boy Jaylen Brown. Wheeler High School.
Old man Al Horford, and then you got Dennis Schroeder, who basically fumbled the bag in the offseason. But that's basically your team right there. But he basically said that in the post game interview that, hey, like, there's only so much that he can do when Jalen and Jason don't pass the ball. Now, my question to you guys is this: should certain things just like Marcus Smart, like, for one, like, is he telling the truth in regards to Jalen and Jason? And even if he is telling the truth, is he wrong though for saying the truth in front of the media for the whole world to see and hear?
My Sixers have experience in this
this
situation. Go ahead. No.
I was just gonna say, I mean, it's like, even if he's somewhat telling the truth in the sense of just like, if it's a 2-man team and it's not working, then you're gonna have to push the ball, or at least go back to the basics where you pushing the ball so that someone got an open shot. At that point, if the 2 main guys ain't hitting like that, y'all push the ball around, do something to get an open shot. But I don't know if he's. I would say he's wrong. I don't know if he's wrong for putting it to the media, because I mean, we saw what happened in Philly when you do it behind closed doors. Like, you looked at Jimmy Butler, and you see how they swung that narrative when Jimmy Butler was like, bro, like, so we've seen what it's like behind closed doors where someone does criticize the team, and then the team comes out to push a different narrative of said player. So, like, if Marcus Smart even criticized him in film, and then it came out that Marcus Smart is blah, 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 which, I mean, he has a right to be upset because, like, dog, y'all, it's a two-man show. We let y'all do what you do, and y'all still drop – you lose a 19-point lead, and then they continue to drop 14 on us. That's not on me, which I get it. If I'm the point guard, I got no assists. That's not on him. That's the two dudes who taking the shots and getting the assists. But I feel like
no assists,
no assists. I don't know how you a point guard, you get 0 assists.
Yeah,
but I think it's valid that he. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like he should have went to the team first and said something before. I feel like he should have went and said something to the team as a collective first instead of going off rip to the press and be like, you know what, these guys just
how much points did he end the night with?
It is before I answer that part, but the thing is, like, that does not work. And we've seen it before with Kyrie Irving. He tried the same thing when he was a Celtic. He basically called out his teammates and whatnot, and it does not work. So Marcus Smart had 16 points. 5 for 11 on the field, 3 for 5 from 3. So he had 4 steals. He had a pretty good game. He had a pretty solid stat line.
He had a pretty good game for being the third, fourth option though. So and he's a starter.
He was the fourth option last night because Horford had 20 and 10.
Damn.
So to be the fourth option, you got 16, 4 steals, and 5. Like, that's a pretty solid game.
But it seems to be a pattern with the Celtics organization where, like, guys just go out into the media and just talk shit.
Well,
about their teammates.
The question is, did he handle it, or did he at least attempt to handle it, like, within the organization?
Well, here's the thing: we would not know the answer to that first question.
Exactly. So
we would not know that. But the thing is, going by what we already know, he handled it poorly because it's not gonna make things better. Because what is the media's job? The media job is basically get clicks, sell headlines. Create narratives.
But here's the thing that I agree with him on. If he did try to handle it inside and he got no response or was brushed off, then yes, you can go to the media. I support that because obviously
you still can't.
So how else is he supposed to get the spotlight or get his organization?
You know what you say? You know what you say?
Yeah.
Because first of all, Marcus Smart, he's a dog. He's a dog. Like, he's one of the best lockdown defenders in the league. But at the end of the day, he's a role player. So at the end of the day, like, the front office, they're not going to choose you over Jason Taylor.
I mean, I never saw
those are 2 all-stars. Those are 2 all-stars.
I mean,
so is he your best bet? Go ahead, no.
I was going to say, is he really a role player if he's a starter?
Yes, you have starting role players.
Okay.
You want me to give examples? Okay, Joe Harris. He starts with the Brooklyn Nets. Is he not a role player?
Okay, yeah, you made your point. Because I was thinking about, I'm like, wait, if he's starting, I don't know if he. Because for me, a role player is more like a 6-man or someone comes off the bench. But I see what you're saying, like a role player, like Joe Harris's role is to just shoot threes, do nothing else. But
Marcus Smart's role is basically to lock down the opposing team's best scorer, and then hit open shots.
I mean, that's always been
in 2K terms. Marcus Smart is more so like a two-way shot creator type nigga. Like, he's a two-way offense, defense, and he'll give you some buckets when he needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's basically who he is. But at the end of the day, like, I know what you were saying, Donnie. Like what else is he supposed to do? You just request a trade. But not, you know what? Not working here.
But he all right. So let's say he wants to be there. So it's like,
if he wants to be here, you just shut up and grin and bear it, and then you just try to make it work. But you do not go to the media because that's all that's gonna do is fuck up the team chemistry even more.
Yeah,
and
no, he doesn't have a point.
And then bad enough, Tatum and Brown, they did not do a post-game interview last night after that.
Oh shit!
So they can't.
I already know that nigga. I already know when Marcus Smart went back to the locker room. I already know niggas like, bro, what the fuck, bro? Like we already lost.
I know,
but that's what I'm saying. Like if there was a way that we knew that players like actually like went to like if we knew that employees went to HR first before talking to the CEO, then
first of all, HR is not for the employees.
It's not for us. But I'm just trying to think of an
smart
example.
Young man.
Hey man,
yeah, that's so true. HR is not for the employee. It's just to say.
I'm just saying if he tried to handle it in house and he got no avail, then
yeah, you're gonna go to the public. That's what I agree with you, Donovan. That's what I said.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If he first was like, yo, like even if he went to Brad Stevens, if he even went to the coach, I don't even think Brad Stevens is a coach anymore, is he?
No, he's
the GM now.
Yeah,
president basketball. Ime Udoka is the head coach.
I don't even know. I'm not even gonna ask how he got that job, but
he used to be a Spurs assistant.
Okay. They technically didn't want Brad Stevens. Like it was like, look, you good, but we ain't going to keep you in this position.
Do you guys know who Nia Long is?
Oh yeah, because she was at one of the games. I know who you're talking about.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think if you would have went to the coach and like, yo, coach,
but I bet you know who Drew Barrymore is.
Whoa, hold on. Is she?
Well, you know who Nia Long is? Wait, time out. What?
Exactly.
Time out. No,
because the way
No.
That's a tech. That's a tech.
No, that's a nigga. You about to get ejected. No.
I'm gonna look it up.
Wait.
I'm gonna look it up.
What's that TikTok sound? God. Donovan.
But I bet you this motherfucker know who Drew Barrymore is.
Oh, wait, no. Nia Long. Donovan. I know who she is. I never knew that was her name.
Please.
Why she gonna say he knows?
She was
for the Kanye video?
No, but I know her from she had that brief stint on Fresh Prince.
Okay,
right?
Thank God.
Or am I getting her confused with somebody else?
No, I was right? Disown you. I was gonna disown you, my guy. I was this close. Cause you thread the needle, my guy. You thread the needle.
Look,
that would have took you over the edge.
How often have you heard the name Nia Long within the past month or the past year?
All the time, bro. It's like
that's not a name that I hear often in my vocabulary.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
But I bet you know who. But I bet you know who Drew Barrymore is and Reese Witherspoon. All these people.
Who the fuck is Reese Witherspoon?
You don't know who Reese Witherspoon is?
See how you is?
And that's not Drew Barrymore, Reese Witherspoon. Because those are.
I know Anne Hathaway because she got thick, so that's why. No, because she was in Ocean's 11 or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, she got thick, cool. Well, I know who Anne Hathaway is.
And by the way, that's no knock on Drew Barrymore, Reese Witherspoon. Like you guys are amazing actresses, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, Donovan, for some reason, when it comes down to his own people, he don't know.
I grew up in the suburbs.
First of all, don't be putting me in with Nia Long. We're not even sure if she's okay. She's black. Oh, she's from Brooklyn.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, she hood.
Oh my god.
Because she's from Brooklyn, she's hood.
So you think every black person from an urban city is hood? Oh wow.
Oh, so I have seen her in movies.
This is the same man that's like
hood. She was in Love Jones, Soul Food, The Best Man, Best Man.
Of course, she's one of the most prolific black rom-coms.
I know who Nia Long is. I just ain't know her name.
You're one of those. Oh, I know her by face type of people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wait, did you say she was never in any movies?
No, I just didn't know who she was, but she was also in Friday. Are we there yet?
Yeah, this man has to go to IMDb.
The fact the sheer fact that you just can't name. Oh yeah, she's on Fresh Prince. off the dome, wild. Just Friday. She was in Boys in the Hood. She was in.
Because I told y'all I never seen Boys in the Hood.
Oh my god.
We had this.
All right. No, you know what? Let's bring it back to Marcus.
Let's bring it back to Marcus Smart because we finna get you canceled in the black community.
You about to get my pressure.
But Marcus Smart, her Nia Long's boyfriend or husband is a coach. All right, cool. Marcus Smart, like I said, you go to the coach and like, yo, this game plan not working. Even though you're a starting role player, if you're a player on the team you're starting as a starter, I would still be like, this is just not working. As you can see from last night.
Yeah, the fact that he's the star point guard, and the offense is not being ran through you, which is obviously you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but it's, I don't know, it says something.
Yeah, I mean, we have a star player like Jason Tatum. You would want Jason Tatum to get the most touches, but to get all of them and not really, spread the floor like that. I don't know if it.
Honestly, the Celtics' best lineup will possibly be with Tatum at the power forward position, Jana at the 3, Smart at the 2. I don't know why Shooter's not starting at point guard. I guess because like they have nobody else in the second unit that could score. But I would like for them to even try my cousin out at point guard, Aaron Neesmith. Like they should give him some burn.
Now you got a cousin out here.
Pretty good
Dez. My cousin's on the Celtics.
Hey, shout out to your cousin on the Celtics. Yeah, baby, that's what's up. Who for us? Who for true urban coaching, my nigga?
Yes, sir. But like I said, I think it was a bad move because nothing good comes out of it. You you might feel good in the moment, like, oh, I have to get this off my chest, but at the end of the day, it's gonna create a ripple effect where, like,
fuck all that. Nah, fuck.
Like, Donovan, you should already know how it is because look at your situation with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you went to your players man to man, and you went to the staff, and you went to your coach, and you went to and nothing changed, then what else are you supposed to do?
Okay, but what is the media gonna do besides write stories? Like
I'm gonna tell you right now,
it's going to force the organization to do something.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, Marcus Smart go get traded now because you ain't traded.
Listen, the thing is, in any sports league, being any professional athlete, when it comes to the media and frustration within your organization, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's the only way this works. If he says nothing, you're just on a team that just is not dysfunctional, but just not spreading the floor, whatever. You speak up, possibly can get traded, chemistry dysfunction, blah, blah, blah. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So for Marcus Smart and for him, and the thing is, like, I get it on his point of view because if they go into practice and they look at Marcus Smart, who is a starting point guard with 0 assists, and they're like, yo, what didn't you do? It's like, I mean, then I would get it where he's like, if I go to practice and they're looking at me like I did something like, yo, your 2-star players dropped the ball last game. It ain't had nothing to do with me. They're not giving me the ball like that. So then, if that's the case, I understand why he says something because that's frustrating. Because I didn't do this. You told us to feed these two, and we did, and look what happened.
But to be fair to Marcus Smart, he's only the point guard in name only. Like, people think, like, oh, just because he's the point guard, that means like, he initiates the offense. He does not really initiate the offense like that. Yeah. He's just as much a point guard as Steve Kerr was a point guard for the Chicago Bulls.
That makes sense. That's really good. That's really good. That's really good. No, you're right. And Michael Jordan was definitely taking it up the court. Steve Kerr was not dribbling that joint up the court.
Yeah.
At all.
So like, or even like LeBron James before Westbrook got there, like what LeBron was like always the point guard.
You really think Dennis Schroeder was the starting point guard? Like, no. He was just there.
And even an example to all y'all, because all y'all old enough to remember this. Like, y'all remember when the big three, the Miami Heat with LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh?
Yeah.
Basically, Marcus Smart is as much a point guard as Mario Chalmers was.
I was about to say, wasn't Mario Chalmers the...
Nah, because LeBron was dead ass bring up the ball every time of the court. Yes. He was like, nah, nigga.
So basically, like,
this is that or in addition off to D-Wade.
Like, Tatum and Brown always had the ball in their hands for the most part. So
yeah, I mean,
but my thing is, like, I would not go to media just off of politics alone because sometimes you got to know how to play the game.
All right, so let me ask you a question: how would you handle it?
How would I
walk me through?
Thank you for asking me this question, David. I always wanted to answer this. In regards to how I would handle it. Well, for one, I would bring it to the attention of my teammates and the coaching staff indoors.
Okay.
Right. That's what I would do first and foremost. If there's no resolution after that, the next thing I'm going to start to do is I'm going to request a trade. I'm not going to go to the media and throw my teammates under the bus for the simple fact of this. Okay, I still want to play in this league, right? The next locker room I go to, I don't want to be looked at as the guy that basically talks shit about my teammates to the media and throw my teammates under the bus.
I understand that.
That's why I'm looking from like a political standpoint.
But I'm thinking about Marcus Smart. I ain't no bitch. Look, I told you. No bitch. I told you what was happening. Y'all ain't want to do shit. So now I'm speaking to Bleacher Report.
And he's the longest tenured player on the team. Like he's been there for.
So that's what I'm saying. Like there should be some respect, and yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you know how it is sometimes, especially like with Tim and Brown, like they're younger, so they think like man, like you can't do what we do. Like how the fuck you gonna tell us what to do? Like we're the better players. Like we're the best players on this team. Jason Taylor just coming up playing in the Olympics.
I mean, it depends.
Brown dropped 50 at the Garden opening night, so like
it depends on if Marcus Smart wants to stay there. If he wants to stay in Boston,
he definitely does want to stay there. Because I remember the offseason, he don't want to get traded. But at the end of the day,
trading is out the question.
It's back in the question now because you're not getting rid of Jason Taylor or Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, you're not getting rid of. I mean, they did put Jaylen Brown on the table when it came to trading for somebody. I forgot who they were trading for.
I think it was Anthony Davis.
Yeah, they was going to trade.
Jaylen Brown is expendable. I mean, but he's not. I mean, but Marcus Smart is more expendable than Jaylen Brown. Like they're gonna get rid of Marcus.
Jaylen Brown's not expendable.
So, but I mean, I said Marcus Smart. I get where he's coming from. Could have handled it differently, but I understand the frustration.
Yeah. But speaking of could have handled things differently, let's get into the 2-minute drill and talk about the news that just broke at the time of this recording in regards to the Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver, second-year receiver, Henry Ruggs.
They're going wild out there, man. What the fuck happened with the Raiders?
Donovan, since you was the one that brought this news to my attention, I don't know where I was at and how I did not know about this at the head of time as we prepare for this show. What's the latest in the Henry Ruggs saga out there in Vegas?
The story is still developing, but what we know now is that he was potentially driving under the influence and he killed somebody.
Well, there you have it, guys. The most basic.
Okay, but you know what? This is the obviously that's fucked up. But at the end of the day, like context matters because you can't just say that he was driving and then he killed somebody. Like he did not intentionally kill someone. It just happened.
What does it mean? The man is dead.
It was a woman.
A woman, human.
It's a woman. Don't do that.
We're not going to put labels on.
I say human. A woman. It's okay.
David on his non-binary flow right now.
All right, but regardless of whether you meant.
And by the way, my condolences to the family of the victim.
For sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Continue.
Yeah. So was trying to process human emotions, but whether you meant to do it or whether you meant to do it or not, you still killed the person. So I mean, a lot of people are asking like, should we throw the book at him or like what should happen to his career and stuff like this? You should go to jail. I mean, no, obviously thinks he should do community service or be put in a timeout or some shit like that. No, you want to address that?
Wow, what throw under the bus like Marcus Smart? All right. Okay, Marcus Smart. I mean, I think laws are different everywhere. I think here, if he wasn't intoxicated and it was a genuine accident, then this would be a different thing. But you're intoxicated, which means accident or not, DUI is already bad. You don't want to drink and drive. And then you killed someone on top of being intoxicated and driving and then getting in a wreck and then killing someone. All I got to say is it's not looking good. It doesn't look good. It's not. It's just one of those things where it's like, I know you didn't mean to, but you did. Like, it's like you were intoxicated and it's like.
Yeah, so he He was driving when he crashed into the rear of a Toyota RAV4.
Yeah. And also, according to this tweet right here from Michael J. Babcock in regards to the Henry Ruggs incident, the woman who died was, and I quote, the woman who died was only 23 years old. Cops tell us Ruggs was traveling at a high rate of speed and veered into the lane where the RAV4 was traveling, causing the crash. The woman was trapped in the car when it caught on fire. She was dead on the scene. So, once again, rest in peace to this young lady. But in regards to, because the main thing that we can focus on right now is the fact that, like, okay, like, what's going to happen in regards to Henry Ruggs? Like, he was already booked this afternoon, so he's already, according to Ian Rappaport, he's already booked at the, give me a second here, the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's done. But what's the next step in regards to, okay, like, should this be the end of his football career? Like, should this, not even just that, should this be the end of his life in general? Because I've been hearing some people talk about throw the book at this dude. He should get like life in jail. Like, what do you feel like should be the penalty for this crime? It definitely is a crime. Like, let's.
I mean, yeah, for sure, it's a crime. I don't think he should get life. I feel like that's a little extreme. I mean, he took.
And we already know who's saying that.
Yeah, I mean, he took a life. It was by accident, and he was intoxicated. Like, all those things, context matters.
Was he speeding?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
like, he's intoxicated. Yeah. He's not going to speed limit. He's intoxicated. That's a given. But it's like, I think he'll probably get a year, maybe 2 years in jail. I think just because, I mean, DUI, even if you get a DUI, you can go to jail, but you probably like pay a fine or something. I don't know I forget how that works. But a DUI in of itself isn't bad, but a manslaughter charge of, you accidentally killing someone and you have a DUI, he could be looking at maybe a year, a couple of years. But I don't think it should be the end of his life, because there's the whole story, like, it happens in small towns, and certain colored people have gotten off from doing similar things. Not to say that it's right, not to say what they did was right, but this is not the first time this has happened. And
I hate to be like, okay, but I hate to play like whataboutism. But I remember there was a case not too long ago involving an actor who basically had a prop gun on set, right? And it went off. Alec Baldwin. Mm-hmm. Alec Baldwin. His prop gun. Yeah, like we're talking about acting in a sports podcast. But I'm trying to make the example, and I don't mean to play whataboutism, but this dude literally killed the director on the set with his prop gun and injured another. And nobody.
That's a little different.
How is that different?
Because yes, he was the producer.
I mean, he wasn't drunk, so there's one.
Yeah. Okay. Also, he wasn't the producer. He was handed a loaded gun without his knowledge.
Yeah.
So he was playing out a scene, and the people who are supposed to check to make sure that the gun is filled with blanks, obviously didn't do their job correctly, and he shot without his knowledge. So no, that's not.
Yeah, the Alec Baldwin situation is like the most accidental incident that can happen, because it's like he did not have knowledge. Like, that I understand, because again, he had no knowledge that it didn't have blanks in it or whatever. So that in of itself, and plus he wasn't drunk, it is totally different. But I have heard and seen cases of a DUI case that has resulted in a hit and run, and God willingly has resulted in someone dying. And so the result of that, sometimes they get off, sometimes they do serve jail time, but it's one of those semantic isms of like, okay, this person was white and a lot of context, so it's like, it doesn't help that he's black. Well, he's a black man in America, so that doesn't help anything. Yeah. But it's just like, I don't think he deserves life. I don't think his whole life should be over this. it's definitely something he's probably going to live with for the rest of his life. But, he accidentally killed someone while being drunk. He's probably going to get a year or a couple years in jail.
Maybe 3, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. But it's like, should this be the end of his life? No. I don't think it should be the end of his life.
Okay, fair rebuttal by both of you, gentlemen. I refrain from going even further on the Alec Baldwin situation. What you guys said was definitely true, and I stand corrected. But in regards to Henry Ruggs, like you said, that probably like 1 to 2 years maximum. He's 22 years old. Do you guys think he plays in the NFL again? On the flip side, if so, should he play in the NFL again at this age?
Has anybody ever killed anybody in the NFL?
Well,
never mind.
Well, no. The closest was.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking Aaron Hernandez, but that's just me.
The closest was Ray Lewis, but he wasn't the one that actually killed anybody. But he was associated with a murder.
I feel like I don't know. It's because it plays down to like morality, and then it plays. There's a lot of things that have to play into this because, like, granted, someone's mistake shouldn't carry with them for the rest of their life, but he did accidentally kill somebody. So there's a lot of morality to it. Some people look at it as like, you can never live this down. Other people are like, yo, it was just like a mistake that happened. Definitely and
this wasn't like a domestic dispute or anything like that. That results like this dude. Obviously, like, you should not drive under the influence. This is why Lyft and Uber exist.
That's what I don't understand. You have the money to afford a chauffeur or
not even a driver.
Yeah, you live in Vegas. Well, you were in Vegas. You can
say he lives there. Like,
yeah, well, you lived in Vegas. Like, you can throw a stone and hit a fucking Uber or a Lyft. Like, so there's no reason why you should be driving at 3 a.m. in the morning.
He's definitely going to be punished for obviously accidentally killing somebody and driving drunk. He's going to be punished. But to ask, should this be, his identity or who he is for the rest of his life? For me, no, just because I look at the world differently, because I do believe people can grow and change. That's just me. But a lot of other people here in America don't see the world the way I see it. They think, oh, you did this thing, now this is who you are for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So morality sets in, and everyone has a different, set of what morally is, the best solution. Like, should he get life? Some people think he should, but I don't know. It's I don't know.
Overall, like, to wrap this segment, I think that it's an unfortunate situation, not only for the victim and her family,
for sure,
and also for Henry Ruggs as well, because this is a 22-year-old young man who basically had the rest of the world at his fingertips waiting for him. He is having a great season with the Raiders, but it's been like a dark cloud just around that franchise this season. First with the John Gruden situation.
They need to.
I mean, you went to Vegas. I mean, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen when you go.
And now with this Henry Ruggs situation, like, it's just like things like it's crazy. But I understand, like, Henry Ruggs, I'm most certain like his mind is racing right now, and he's probably feel like he's gonna have that reputation for the rest of his life that he killed someone, even if it wasn't his intent. But just know how people are on social media and how wicked people could be, how people just always want to look towards like the downfall of others that's far higher than them on the totem pole in society, and just use that as a way to bring them down. So I already know, especially him being like a 22-year-old kid, like, no, you're just about to turn 22. Yeah. So I mean, like, this could literally be like, he's just see, I mean, it's basically your age.
He basically is
going through this. He's going through this, So like, it's just an unfortunate situation all aboard.
Yeah, I think when you put it in that perspective, it is wild because you don't prepare for a situation like that, especially if it was on accident. Especially if it was just like, you don't prepare for that. It is, I think you have to look at life as a learning experience, and that for him, when he is done with this, if he does go to jail, if anything, regardless of what happens, once it's over for him, it will most likely be one of the harshest learning experiences he will have. Because I mean, that's how you have to look at life. And again, condolences to her family, but Henry Ruggs, this is just gonna be learning. You have to learn a lot from this. A lot.
He was especially drunk driving.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to be drunk driving.
Still can't believe people are doing that in 2020.
The thing is, you're an NFL player. You probably have homies with you. No,
yeah, exactly.
So it's a lot of just.
There you go. Unless they was also intoxicated. But I know, Donovan, you mentioned like, is there an example of anyone that killed someone and ended up playing in the league again? I know I said, although he wasn't directly involved, I said Ray Lewis. But actually, the closest example, although it has nothing to do with humans, was Michael Vick and the whole dog incident.
Oh, yeah.
So, and Vick, he came back. He was able to, some people still hold that against him, but he was able to,
yeah, he had a redemption arc.
Yeah, he had a nice redemption arc. So, and plus, that happened. He is much older. Well, he wasn't that much older, but he was older than Henry Ruggs is right now. So, there is time, but given the world that we're living today with social media and all that, like it's gonna be hard. It's definitely gonna be hard.
It's gonna take time, yeah.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But I know we could, unless you guys want to, we could talk about the Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan beef over the Last Dance documentary.
The only thing I can say about Scottie Pippen is no one wants to hear what Scottie Pippen has to say. That's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I can make it short. I don't know if there's any truth to his statements, but I personally don't know Jordan or none of them. So
I knew Jordan. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't.
But I don't know. It wouldn't be out of character for him to be afraid of his popularity fading, which I don't understand why he would. But.
I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has to come to grips with their own immortality, with their own mortality, so to speak. It was comes with Michael Jordan, like for years, he'll forever be my GOAT because I've seen him play. So I've seen this man literally prevent other great players from not winning championships. Like the whole Charles Barkley, like Shaq pulling, like, oh, like you ain't got no rings. MJ was a big reason as to why Charles Barkley doesn't have a ring. So there's that. But to get my thoughts on the whole Scottie Pippen comments, I look at it like this: like, do not bite the hand that feeds you. Like, basically, MJ helped, even though like it takes two. It takes like it's a team game.
Yeah,
but MJ,
don't start that, man.
Like MJ,
no, I mean, that was the point. Like without Mike, it was just Scottie.
All right, without Scottie, there's no Mike. I mean, it's a team.
There was Mike before Scottie. Granted, they didn't win, but there was Mike.
I mean, they both need each other. But to say that, like, Scottie.
But there was moments in Scottie Pippen where Scottie Pippen did not come through when they needed him. I remember, like, I think it was the 1989-1990 Eastern Conference Finals, where Scottie Pippen couldn't get back a game because he had a migraine headache. And then they was doing, like, he was talking about the Last Dance documentary, which Scottie Pippen has a beef about, where, like, how he basically waited during the season to get surgery because he didn't like the length of his contract and whatnot. So that's what it said. Oh, like, I'm not gonna use this summer to get the surgery. I'm basically gonna, like, rehab during the season. And basically how Jordan and the team on the dock that worked on the dock, they made him look a certain type of way in regards to that. So I just talk that's like sour grapes on his part. And he didn't like the way that he was portrayed. So now he's using this whole like, oh, like LeBron, like MJ is just scared of like how the youth might start.
But I mean, it's not that far off. I mean, it could be possible.
What could be possible?
That Michael Jordan's afraid of LeBron surpassing him.
Well, first of all, LeBron's not going to surpass him. It's just a narrative. Because you have to think about it. This generation, like the generation that watched LeBron James, are in college now. And they're also in the pros as well. So they look up. So basically, this is their Michael Jordan. And then when you have the people that grew up watching LeBron, and let's say, for instance, like in Noel's case, he said his goal is Kobe Bryant. But there's many people Noel's age, as well as your age, Donovan. I'm saying like I'm an old man, but like there's many people like in your age group like that's working in sports media. that could say like, they asked them, they could write so like 10 reasons why LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, or here's 5 valid reasons as to why LeBron James is the GOAT, or his legacy is more substantial than MJ's. That narrative starts to take precedent over the Michael Wilbons, the Steve A. Smiths, the people that's kind of like, much older and on their way out, that's had the narrative, MJ is the GOAT. Because the whole GOAT debate is only based upon like who's alive to tell it. That's any narrative. Like those that's based, like history is written by the victors or the ones that live long enough to tell it.
I think what's gonna keep Michael's story being told is his sneakers. I mean, again, if you're a sneakerhead, if you enjoy sneakers, his careers, you can literally map out his career through his shoes. So you're gonna know, he won a championship in this shoe and did this and this one. So I think Michael's legacy is already cemented. It's just what's in the present, what's in the now. And like you said, the media saying, pushing the narrative LeBron, like is LeBron the GOAT, 10 reasons why, blah, blah, blah. And again, it comes with time because there's going to be a time where I grow up and I have kids, and there's going to be some player that's playing when my kids grow up and like, yo, this player is better than LeBron or better than Kobe. It's going to be this thing that continues time because for my dad, before Mike, my dad was Dr. J. That was my dad, back in that time. It was Dr. J. It was Wilt. It was Kareem. And then Michael happened. And so my dad looked at Michael the way y'all that love Michael look at LeBron. So it's like it's always going to be this continual cycle of just.
That's why I always hate that GOAT. Personally, I don't think Michael Jordan is the best who ever did it. I don't think LeBron James is the best that ever did. I think there are players who changed the game, but there is no such thing as the best person to ever do it.
Yeah, I can respect that argument because there's a lot of. I look at
it's a team game, so
there's just too many people from Bill Russell to Steph Curry to LeBron. To Cole,
there's a lot of players that
changed the game. And it's not, so it's, I always thought.
I can get that argument because there's not one player that single-handedly by themselves just the whole. I mean, I don't know. It's because there's a lot of players that have changed the game and changed the way the game is played, changed the way we view the game anyway. So it's like to say that there's this one person that just. I mean, I get the Michael Jordan theory, like he embodies the NBA. I get that. But
and people always point to it's the 6 rings. Bill Russell has 11, but we ain't talking about him being the GOAT.
Yeah, but context matters.
But no.
I mean, Bill Russell playing against 5'10" white guys.
If we're going to use this narrative of Michael Jordan has 6 rings. All right, so let's also use that narrative of Bill Russell has 11. So which is better, 6 or 11?
But teams, man, like if you playing like 6 teams,
I mean, it doesn't matter how many teams were alive.
It does matter.
He won 11 rings. That's the narrative that a lot of people.
All right. Let's put like what's more impressive. This is where I see with the whole Bill Russell and MJ thing. You talk about Bill Russell having 11 rings, right?
Yeah.
But back then they didn't even have 20 NBA teams when he won those rings.
Yeah,
that's like
context matters. I mean, Bill Russell was like the tallest and biggest player on the court.
No, he wasn't. He was only like what 6'9", 6'10". He wasn't a 7-footer like Will Chamberlain. Sure. So no, it wasn't that.
I'm gonna say a young nigga's place because
it was just the shorts that they were wearing that made it seem like they were.
But look at it like baseball, right? Let's say for instance, right? I bat 333. You bat 333, whatever case may be, right? Mm-hmm. But only did it in like a 3-game sample size. But let's say, for instance, player B bat like 280, but he did over 162 games. Like, what's more impressive? The one that bat 333 in like 3 games, or the one that bat 280 across 162?
Nah, he got you there. Because if you bought 280 over damn near 300 over 100, so yeah,
I give you that. But I mean, I'm not saying that that Bill's 11 is better than MJ's. I'm just using that same narrative that people try to discredit Bill because he played in a league with like 5 other teams when they reference championships, just solely championships.
Valid. And by the way, Bill Russell's in my top 10 all time, because at the end of the day, you can't do nothing about the era that you played in. As long as you dominate in that era, then it's
not my fault. I was playing with fucking part-time mailmen, workers, and shit like that. So
he was playing against milkmen. I don't want to. They were delivering milk and then suiting up to play as a Celtic. I don't know.
I mean, you guys all know how I feel. There's no such thing as the GOAT. It's people who change the game, and that's how I feel.
There's a GOAT, but
it's not.
But all right, man. We reached the point of the show where it's about time for us to plug ourselves on the way out. I feel like this is a great discussion on all these topics. So let everybody know where they can find you guys on social media and all that good jazz.
You already know. Dino also on everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, MySpace, whatever you use. It's the same thing.
I still have MySpace.
Soon to be on Meta.
You can be on Meta, basically. Hey, catch
in that VR.
Metaverse, my guy. Dino also on everything.
This is Black Mirror in real life.
At this point. Dino also on everything. I guess I've been really tangled with school, but I'm trying to get articles out. But school always comes back and it's like deadline.
What do I always tell you? Your education comes first, young bro. As long as I can count on you every Tuesday when we record this show.
But I'm definitely working around my schedule to try to get some articles out, man. That's really the goal. But yeah, school's been hanging me in there, man. So I would say articles, and we're gonna try to produce off the racks and get that whole season 1 finished, and those are my 2 goals for right now, and what y'all can look forward to. So yeah.
Yes, great goals, Mr. Our man in the middle, Mr. Donnie. Now call me Donovan Wilkins.
Be on the lookout for. I got 2 interviews coming up. One with Jasmine Cassell that I did today, and another one.
You told me about this?
I told you about it. I didn't tell you that I rescheduled it. I have to send it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And also, there's another interview that you did that I'm gonna be dropping next week.
Shit, I did another one. Damn. These game mess, man.
Yeah. I forgot to show your name. I don't want to fuck it up.
Radiance.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Radiance, Philly legend.
Yeah. Philly legend. There you go.
Philly legend.
No, I ain't got nothing else. Just watch out for my interviews.
As for me, Liddell the Fashionista on IG, also the Modern and True Urban Culture IG page. So you want to holler at me in regards to interviews, event coverages, or anything like that, down the guy to reach out to. But ladies and gentlemen, this has basically been I'll say pretty good, episode 25. We got a lot.
We gave an hour 30.
Yeah, we solid.
We did.
It went by quick.
We're gonna start putting these on Patreons.
Oh man, Patreon. That's what we can really let loose. But yeah, we can really let loose on Patreon. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Outta Bounds. If you did, hit the like button, share with your social network, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Be a part of the Tuck family. Not only do we have Outta Bounds, we have Tuck Talk, the Gaming Chair, Off the Racks, headed by our guy here, Mr. Noah Austin. And we have plenty of new shows on the horizon as well that's going to be coming.
Yeah, we're finally going to have a music podcast coming up so we can talk our shit. So
yeah.
Be on the lookout for that.
Big trust.
Woo. Big trust. Yeah, it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. But that's all for now. But before we go, because by the time the episode airs, this Thursday night football game will not have taken place yet. So any bets on or any predictions to this week's Thursday night football matchup?
Who's playing?
Coming up.
I got something to do that day, so
I've been doing homework. I do not know who's playing on Thursday at all.
Okay, so basically what that says to y'all is that we don't care about this week's Thursday Night Football.
We never said we was Stephen A. Smith. I'll tell you that.
I care about this show.
Hey, we're better than Stephen A. Smith for the simple fact that we get the names right and the years correct. So he doesn't do that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's just all for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week for episode 26. Peace, y'all.